Pierre Poilievre on a hot streak with reporters telling them that they got to shut down their nonsense and replace it with common sense. Let's get into it.
Oh, yeah!
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to The Fringe. I thought today was going to be a quiet Monday, but no, it's a fast news day here on the channel. And not really news, but anytime something good happens these days, I always want to make sure I'm out front and center sharing that with everyone to make sure that everybody gets a good laugh, because after 8 years of nonsense, we definitely could use a little bit of fun times and laughter. With Pierre Poilievre today having his news conference, of course, to talk about Arrive Scam and the issues that have gone on around Arrive Scam. I'm going to have a video about that tomorrow. But today I wanted to take a look at something that happened following his declaration of what went on during Arrive Scam. And that is, of course, the usual Q&A that goes on with the media, with the press. And of course, the media over the last few weeks, we've done a couple of videos where Pierre is putting them in their place, where he's speaking his mind, where he's telling them, look, I'm not playing these games with you guys. And it seems to me that they just can't learn from their mistakes or send people that know how to do their job. It's not a difficult thing in the media. Of course, when you watch Amateur Hour here on my channel, in comparison to what they're supposed to be able to do, telling the truth and getting facts and digging up the reality of what's going on is not a daunting task. But it is when you're paid by the Liberal government. And of course, that's something Pierre gets into here. I want to take a minute to listen to what happens, because it's almost a 3-minute clip, but we're going to put it in full context so everyone knows just what went down. Let's take a listen to what Pierre has to say. Get your popcorn ready, folks. It's a good one.
Why did your party want to grant over $100 million in regulatory relief to the mainstream media?
We don't want to give any tax dollars to the mainstream media. Our belief is that the mainstream media and all...
Decision, then? Your party's decision to grant regulatory relief?
So I'll answer your question. The media that is bought and paid for, where are you from, by the way? Which outlet are you in? Which outlet? Which outlet?
Canadian Press.
Ah, okay, Canadian Press. So you're talking about tax...
Right away, he shuts it down. The Canadian Press. He knows who he's dealing with, okay? This is going to be good, ladies and gents. I'm sorry to cut in. It's all about fair use. I got to make sure we do that. But let's hear what he has to say about the good old Canadian Press and how they behave.
For media, isn't CBC your biggest... I can answer... Yeah, and you want an answer?
Why does your party want to grant $100 million in regulatory relief to the mainstream media?
When would you like me to respond? Okay, good. Okay, great. So, of course, you are a tax-funded media outlet and spreading Justin Trudeau's message.
Why did you
and so you're interrupting me again. You're interrupting me again.
Look at this behavior from this reporter. It's totally unacceptable. I know that's the theme of this channel, but they just won't let him speak unless it's tuning to their rhetoric. And that's what's so funny about these journalists. Now, you can tell from the minute Pierre asked, are you going to allow me to respond? He'd tuned them out already. Nobody wants to put up with this kind of behavior, but it's going to continue for another roughly 2 minutes. Here we go.
I am answering the question.
Do you regret granting $100 million in regulatory relief to the mainstream media?
Your question is false. So if you can allow me to correct your falsehoods, then we can answer the question directly. So, false. Canadian Conservatives do not believe in giving tax dollars to media outlets. That's Justin Trudeau. That's Justin Trudeau. That's Justin Trudeau. Okay, if you don't want me to answer the question, I'll move on to someone else. You're a tax-funded mouthpiece to the PMO. That's the reality. So,
question answered. You committed.
I'm trying to, but you're heckling. Are you going to let me answer the question, or are you just going to heckle on behalf of Justin Trudeau? Which is it?
I would love the answer.
Great. So our party does not support tax dollars for media outlets, because that's when we end up with biased media like you, who come here and articulate the PMO talking points rather than delivering real news to the Canadian people. Justin Trudeau gave Bell Media and other media tax dollars supposedly to protect media jobs. And then what happened? They all got laid off. So that the supposed justification for giving Bell all this money was that it was going to save media jobs. Well, they all got fired. So I guess that wasn't the real reason for giving tax dollars to the media. The real reason was for him to buy support from the media, which is what it actually did. So we believe that media should be driven by readership, viewership, and listenership, and that's what allows it to represent the Canadian people rather than taking marching orders from the PMO.
So he nails it right there. Media outlets should be backed by the people that support them. And by the way, huge thank you to everybody who's clicked the subscribe button on this channel lately. We've been running almost 1,000 subscribers every couple of days in the last little while. So it's been ramping up. So huge thank you to everybody joining this community. But this is what shows that when you're doing something right, people back you. And that's one thing that these media outlets are forgetting or have forgotten, especially since Justin Trudeau came into office, is that if we're going to get money and bonuses for pushing the propaganda, what they're failing to realize, and what the big ups that are getting these big bonuses or big payouts from the liberal shill media or liberal shill government representatives, is that they forget at some point in time the party comes to an end. And this is a huge misstep for media to be attacking Pierre, but the gloves are off. Pierre's going to go to war with the media at this point, as he always has, but even more so now. He's not afraid to shut them down. And of course, you can see it already on Twitter. People are coping not so well, as it shows here, this Michael the Navy guy. It costs nothing to be a dick. Not a fan of attacking reporters like this. They have a job to do. Well, they're not doing it in the first place. You don't have to answer, but calling them bought and paid for is just plain wrong. How so? I would love to see this guy's argument as to how calling them bought and paid for. He's just stating a fact. For any leader in a Western democracy to say that because he doesn't like the question, I think what he's confused Pierre Poilievre with is Justin Trudeau. We've seen countless times Justin Trudeau will walk away from questions. He'll walk away from anybody who doesn't want to ask him softballs or speak to his rhetoric. We've even seen it in crazy city councils like Jody Gondek in Calgary, whenever she's asked a question and doesn't want to answer, especially by guys like Keean Bexte, where she simply just put her head down and walked away. You have a responsibility to be open and honest with the media, but the media also has a responsibility to tell the truth, and that's one thing they're not doing. Now, of course, good friend of the channel, Shadow Davis, chimed back at Mike saying, apparently you clearly don't understand their manipulation tactics. He's absolutely correct in asserting they are bought and paid for. This is public knowledge. Notice they never attacked Trudeau in this way. Never. Corporate media in Canada is an arm to the Trudeau government, period. But it doesn't stop there. Where do you get he didn't like the question from? It's great how he finally asked them if they were going to stop talking over him so he could answer. Or he would just move on. Just because you don't like the answer doesn't make it less true. Waste of tax dollars. Then somebody else replies, but they are bought and paid for. You gotta love coming on X and watching liberals get triggered. You know, another person said, this is the third time he's brutalized a reporter for asking a straightforward question. What kind of person can't handle scrutiny? Remember, this guy still won't let the RCMP do a security clearance on him. He has been cleared by the RCMP. He wouldn't be the leader of the opposition if he didn't have a security clearance. This is the same kind of rhetoric we see as Obama's birth certificate. You know, people just, he's gotta show us everything. He has to be completely transparent. They're saying he's brutalized reporters. He's done nothing more than put his foot down to say, you're not going to spin a hit piece on me. You're not going to make me look bad for Justin Trudeau. And he's done nothing more than state facts. I really don't understand how people get so up in arms about somebody defending their ground from a smear campaign. Here's the full exchange. It's longer than 1 minute. Of course, it'll be interesting to see if they really get tough on Pierre Poilievre and what they write. I can't see this working out in favor over the long term. We've got the Fox News Tucker crowd base here, but they're not enough to get him elected. So again, much like today's earlier video, this is where they're going to use Tucker, Russia, MAGA, all these things. It's all the bots. They're all out in full force. They're going to war with the right wing. They're going to war with Pierre Poilievre. And Pierre is essentially calling out last week, this week, anytime he stands with reporters, and it's very refreshing to see. But he's called out that he's prepared to go to war, and he's prepared to defeat them, not just with fact and logic, but with common sense. You can't beat the good old-fashioned truth, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Is this only going to ramp up for Pierre? Are we going to see many, many, many more videos like this? I would think so. Give me your thoughts down below. Also, make sure, if you haven't hit that subscribe button already, I hope this video has solidified your desire to do so. Make sure you click your bell for notifications. Do all the usual YouTube stuff, because let's face it, anytime we knock down President Socks, we get buried in the algorithm. So make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, get it all out there, and join us this Friday on the channel at 6 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Central, for our new streaming show, Friday Night Fringe, here on the channel, where we're going to go over everything that happened this week. I'm going to give you guys a piece of my mind. My 2 cents are free, so come join us, hang out, and I get to listen to what you guys have to say and have a little bit of back and forth, and I look forward to doing that outside of these videos. I look forward to seeing each and every one of you there. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and enjoyed this video. I'll catch you on the next one.